నమస్కారం. బి ప్లస్ అనిర్వేద వేదికకి స్వాగతం. బి ప్లస్ అంటే బి పాజిటివ్. బి పాజిటివ్ is the A plus way to be. My name is Bhaskar Rayavaram. Be positive is the A plus way to be. That means having an attitude of positive outlook to lead your life is the best way to conduct one's own daily livelihood or even the life journey. This particular formula or sutra has come from Ramayana. Valmiki Maharshi, taking the situation when the most powerful, the wisest Hanuma, in search of Sita Mavaru, gets into a situation when he cannot find her, into a state of depression where he almost ready to commit suicide. But in that situation, there is a shloka that can be called as in a sense of Vedams, which talks about being Anirvedam, in the state of Anirvedam is the best way to be. Anirveda Sriyoh Moolam, Anirvedam Param Sukham, Anirvedo hi Satam Sarvartheshu Pravartakaha. With that sloka, Hanuma becomes Karyon Mukhudu again. He goes on to searching for Sita Mavaru in Ashokavanam, finds her there. Hence Ramavatara Siddhi. So in any situation when we find ourselves in a mood where we don't want to go forward or we want to take an attitude towards solving the problems in front of us, we don't want to be doing that. Always center yourself in the bhavana of Anirvedam, which is going to help you to find that energy internally, inherent and latent in you. When you are able to do that yourself, it's not only going to help you guide you towards the path of success. When you have that kind of energy inbuilt in you, when you are surrounded by people with similar mindset, together that force can actually do wonderful things in the world. With that intention, we're bringing many people with a positive mindset together on this channel, on this world stage of B plus with Bhaskar, to have that common energy create resonance in people that we don't know, we never met, so that the world will be filled with positive-minded people. As the situations go along, as the world shapes into whatever order that is driven by multiple different forces that are in your control, not in your control, the thing we as individuals can do is center ourselves in positive thoughts and ensure everybody around you is also focused in that mindset. That's the only one that's going to keep us together in the situations that we are faced with uncertainty and things that are not in our control. You just have to center yourself in positive thoughts. That is the intention of this channel, and that's what we're doing here with the help of multiple programs that we conduct through B plus with Bhaskar. So we used to do everyday live shows. As you can go back to the channel and refer to some of the programs we have done in the past. There are multiple different aspects of it, like Pajjaganam, Lalita Geetams, and then storytelling that happens even now every Saturday night or Sunday morning in India. And all of those things are mechanisms for us to come together. And we use them, the literary forms and cultural forms, to bring us to this platform so we can share some wonderful mechanisms that are going to continue to generate that positive energy. Today, we have a very special guest with us. This person has dedicated her life to a great cause. As we know, India as the country of Sanatana Dharma, Bharat as a country of Sanatana Dharma, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya has given us a fulcrum of hope, a fulcrum of a light that we can hang on to, that will continue to guide us as the world may get into a path of darkness. It's going to guide us back into light. That's what Adi Shankaracharya has done. And that tradition has been continuing, the Sanatana Dharma has been continuing for us as a blessing, not only for us, for the entire world, through Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. Multiple gurus have come together since Adi Shankaracharya to propagate the strength of Sanatana Dharma, not only for us as the people of Bharat, but also for citizens of the world. And it's also important as we gather ourselves in 2025, and next generations are looking to learn multiple different technologies, multiple different paths of education and learning. It's very, very important to know or have a way to put them in a foundation that is strong enough to make that education a lot more meaningful and even have a way to gain a lot of strength and momentum. And that will help us, not only us as individuals, but as people. So there is a special initiative going on. And there is, it's my pleasure today to introduce to all of you Sri Lakshmi Mandhata Garu, who has dedicated her life for this special integration of our Vedas and education. Lakshmi Garu, welcome to the show today. Welcome to B Plus with Bhaskar. Namaskaram. How are you? Ela unnaru? Unmute cheskondi. Please unmute. Yeah.
Fine, sir. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Meeru Guru Garu Andulonu ee varamu this week is Teacher Appreciation Week in US. So we're on Friday. Yesterday was actually National Teachers Day here in US. And you are a wonderful teacher yourself. So salute to you, ma'am. And who are the gurus that gave you this ability to go out and make a difference in the world. So salute to your gurus as well, and Adi Guru Shankaracharya and Jagat Guru Sri Krishna. And from there, all the gurus that are currently helping us keep the Sanatana Dharma with us. So welcome to BPlus with Bhaskar today. We're going to have a very, very special conversation. I'm conducting this in English so that your message, very, very important message, actually would reach multiple different people. And those who are watching live through YouTube channel, as you listen to our conversation, kindly chime in with your questions and your views so that we can make this conversation a lot more meaningful. Lakshmi Garu, welcome one more time. So let us start. In my opening remarks, I said, from Adi Shankaracharya to now, there has been a parampara of gurus that are helping us center ourselves around Sanatana Dharma, make sure that is the gift that is given to us has been sustained over a number of years and generations. So we had recently at Sri Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, we had a new milestone. Let us talk about that first and then take our questions further.
Yeah. Namaste, sir. And it's a very good question that you've asked me about the lineage. And from Adi Shankaracharya, it has been passed on from one Acharya to the other. And so far, our generation has been fortunate enough to have seen the 68th, 69th, 70th, and the 71st Acharya of the KanchiKamakoti Peetham. So the 68th Acharya, Chandrasekhar Saraswathi Swamiji, he was instrumental in preserving our Vedas and Vedic rituals and our parampara, followed by his Shishya, the 69th Pontiff. He has been instrumental in socializing and preserving the social aspect of our Hinduism. And following him, the 70th Acharya, Sri Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati Swamiji, whom we'll be talking about more in our coming interview. He has been instrumental in the integrated system of education, bridging the tradition with the modernity. And we are hoping that the 71st Acharya, who has been taken up right now, was taken the Shishya Swikaram. He's going to follow all his three gurus and take it forward to the next generation. This is one Peetham where the puja has been done in the traditional methods only by the acharyas themselves and not by the Sishyas. So right from Adi Shankaracharya till date, the Chandramaulishwar Puja along with the Tripura Sundari Puja, the Trikala Puja has been done only by the Acharyas without a break even for a single day for the last 2,550 years and more. So it's a very privileged moment for all of us to have witnessed the Shishya Swikaram of the 71st Acharya, who is a great scholar. He has finished his three Vedas is completed, and is a Salakshana Ganapati, which is supposed to be a high ranking position. And at a young age of 23, coming from a very simple family background from Annavaram, and he has in his family parampara, the second person in his generation of the seven generations had taken sannyasam. The fourth person in his generation had taken sannyasam, and he, being the seventh in the generation, has become the Peethadpati. So something must have been in the destiny which our acharyas has seen in the young acharya, and we are very happy to have witnessed and have been there. I was there throughout the function of the whole 1 week, and I was very blessed to have seen the full occasion. It is a blessing.
Thank you for that, and thank you for carrying those blessings to all of us today through this conversation. Lakshmi Garu, that's truly, as you said, right, a remarkable event for all of us. It's very, very important to keep the lineage going, to keep the Guru Sishya Parampara going, because it's very, very important. These Peethams have been established with a purpose that transcends time and generations. And this is how it is done. The purpose is carried, the vision is carried through such acharyas, and it is amazing to see how even the new generation gurus are able to inculcate that culture, that purpose into them to carry it forward. Really a significant moment for all of us, and thank you for sharing those details on how that happened that day. And then it's incredible to see from a Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham standpoint. Can you explain like what are the focus areas right now today, and how education plays a key role in the mission?
Well, the key roles of the KanchiKamakoti Peetham are focused on Veda, Vidya, and Vaidyam. That is, Vedic preservation of Vedas, Vidya, the education system, and Vaidya, the health system. So when you focus on these three of knowledge and knowledge through Vedic education or the contemporary education or the health, then the knowledge is passed on to the next generations. You'll have a healthy society. Keeping this in mind, the present acharyas are focusing both on hospitals as well as the integrated system of education, wherein we are thinking tradition but practicing modern technology also by using the best of both the facilities of both the generations. We are integrating them into it and passing on to the next generation. So, in this integrated system of education, when we are focusing on the education system, when you teach the children the culture and traditions along with the contemporary education without a stress level, the education system, as you can understand, of late has been very stressful for
Definitely.
children being ranked on the marks or being measured only on the number of marks that they're getting or what is the level. But here we have he has framed a network or an education system where stress is not there. Without stress, the child has to study. And we have incorporated the traditional subjects like music, Sangeetam, Samskritam, and Samskaram. So these are the three S's that the Acharya propagates, wherein through Sangeetam, Samskritam, and Samskaram, you're building a value-based education for the children, along with the music, which is a therapy, and Samskritam is a international language, which I think everyone will agree that once you know Samskritam, you can achieve anything and everything.
Yeah.
So when you're building both the education systems into one, and having a Gurukulam type of education, the time management and everything is being taught to the child. So you are developing a better society for the future. So this is where we are focusing on the health and the education system for the next generation.
I like the name. The Kamakoti Peetham has Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham has around Dharma Rakshana Samiti. I like that name. So it is initiative, the great visionary initiative by them to have, of course, under the guidance of the Peetham, to have this integrated Pathashalas where the kids are able to learn modern education that is integrated with Vedic teachings, right? I'm very curious about how you go about doing that, because it's one thing to really say, yeah, we can integrate them, but there is pressure for, as like you indicated earlier, that you have a need for, in the current modern society, to keep up with ranks and marks and be part of the mainstream education race, if you will. And at the same time, you are telling them, hey, take this integrated school. You can not only achieve that, but can be much better by having the other. So how does the integration happen? Like, what is the difference, or how are you able to accomplish it?
Well, what you've asked is, very apt what the question you've asked. The reason is when we started the Pathshala ourselves, when we entered it, even I was under the impression that the children may not be able to do both simultaneously.
Mhm.
Where in today's world, the education system, the schooling is like morning 8 o'clock till evening 3 o'clock. And
Yep.
in some areas, they again go for tuition classes, and the whole day is taken up only for education.
Mhm.
But then, when we started the school of the system of education in 2012, when I did the first school, which I started in Chennai, we realized that the children have the capacity to do both.
Mhm.
And when they're doing the Vedic studies or the music studies or the traditional studies, their memory power is increasing. So when the memory power is increasing, what they study in the normal education, they need not spend so much of time at all. So the initial 3, 4 years, we were under the State Board of Education. We used to enroll the children in the regular schools, but we never used to send them. We used to appoint all qualified teachers to come to the school and teach the children. So, like any school, we had a 7 period subjects of 45 minutes each subject paper, which goes for one section of the day, like either in the morning or in the afternoon. And the other section of the day, we have subjects like Sanskritam, classical music, Bhagavad Gita, then Saundar Lahari, Adi Shankara Stotras, then cooking, festival, mythology, all these subjects were given in the afternoon, including yoga for health being. So
Mhm.
when this was being conducted, we had a real doubt whether the children will be capable of taking it or not. But mark my words, right from day one till today, the children were always topped and stood in the top 20 on the state ranks,
Mhm.
never come down. So even with the number of hours reducing for their academics, you
Mhm.
can see that they are faring very well in competition with the regular society. That
Okay.
means the music is acting as a therapy, or the Vedas are acting as improvising their memory or grasping power. So the old system of memorizing, learning from Guru Sishya Parampara is helping the children a lot.
Wow, I mean, that's amazing. So even in these modern days, you're able to implement what's been traditionally known, where we have seen where they symbolically show a guru just doing ashirvadam like this, and there is a ray of light going to the sishya, right? It just visually represented that way, but it's indication that Smriti, Smriti, Puranam, right? Everything was coming from by listening, by repetition, by multiple times of listening, and then registering that in their mind. So you're saying by less study they're able to grasp more, not the other way.
No, I'm not saying less study, I'm saying quality study.
Quality study. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the teachers, when we appoint the teachers, we make sure that they are the teachers, they are the mothers, and they are the tuition teachers too. So the
Hmm.
commitment from the teachers is there towards the education system, and the revisions are done in the time span of the half a day. So they don't take extra time for revisions.
Got it. Okay.
So,
So
but
yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
but when you're studying continuously a book, if
Hmm.
you take it, your mind gets stagnated after a time. The amount of what you can take in.
Hmm.
So suppose you're in front of a book studying for 4 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours,
Yeah.
you will go into stagnation after a 2 hour period.
Yeah.
When you go into music or do something else and come back, you refresh your brain.
Yeah.
So this is what we are trying to tell people. Don't stop your music or don't stop your other activities or the Vedas or the mantras, whatever activities, sports or anything for that matter, even during the board exams. When you keep continuing, your mind will be again refreshing and you can add more into it.
So even in the era of where people are talking, secularism, skill-based education that's dominate everywhere, like you need to be pursuing STEM education and become this kind of a professional in future. So you are focusing on having like a holistic student development, and you're able to see some results, right? So you have seen results where it also helps them in terms of career growth and everything by rooting in this kind of education.
Yeah, because our system of education not stopping with a single system of education or a single window. We are giving them the contemporary education like any other student. The streamline, by the time they complete their 12th grade, they're able to have graduation, go into any graduation courses and even post graduation courses. There are cases where our students have done dual degrees at the same time and completing the dual masters. So, a
Wow.
child who has joined us in the 10th grade in 2015, today in 2024, she's completed two masters.
Wow.
She's completed two graduations, two masters. Apart from that, she's got a diploma in yoga, she's got a diploma in tailoring, she's got a diploma in music. So, one thing what we have realized is by doing this holistic education, children are able to empower themselves with more knowledge and more certificates also. So, even they can become entrepreneurs from home. They can do any teaching from home. And these students from Sampradaya Pathashala especially, which is run for the girls, for empowering women, they have been globally teaching people across the globe, for be it UK, USA, or Gulf countries, or for Australia. They have been teaching the Adishankara slokas, the Soundarlahari, the Sanskritam, Telugu language online. Every week they've been teaching for the last 4 years. So they have covered more than 400 students. They have been teaching them. So they develop the confidence of along with learning, teaching capacity also.
Mhm.
So that way, I think you are developing them with a confidence level that they can do anything. Even if they go out, they can become good entrepreneurs, good teachers, and settle down. The main concept of the integrated Pathshala started with taking the village system into consideration.
Okay.
Because people have been migrating away from villages to cities and cities to abroad. So, what does a village need is mainly a temple.
Mhm.
So the temple based, when you take the system as a temple based, that was the place where people were being advised good and bad in the olden days.
Mhm.
Now the temples are there, but no priests are there. So we are giving the training of the integrated Pathshala for the boys, especially with one section of education along with the priest training, or
Okay.
the teaching them the Ramayanam, or the Agama training, or full-time Veda training. Similarly, what does the boy want once he becomes a priest in the village? He needs a gruhani, a good wife who will be
Mhm.
a good advisor or to complement him in the job he's doing. So that is where the Sampradaya Pathshala had started for women empowerment. Because we believe, the Acharya believed that if you train the lady of the house, if the mother of the house, the women of the house is educated, she will be the first teacher and the guru to the child in the house,
Right.
and
Also,
the whole family will be educated.
yeah, and in general it helps the community and the nation as well. Educated women. I mean, we are on the heels of Mother's Day as well. So you're talking about, even though the integrated school Pathshalas are for everybody, there is a special emphasis or special focus on women empowerment, making sure we are creating powerful women leaders. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We make them healthy. We take care of their health. We see that they get good education, good nutritious food, and a stress-free lifestyle in a Gurukulam pattern, which we are providing totally free of cost. We don't charge anything.
Okay. Wow.
And by giving a safe environment, children mainly coming from villages and other parts of the towns, They feel that it is safe to stay within the campus without much of a peer pressure. They're all into the same environment. So the development of the child, when you graph them or when you study them from the time they join till the time they go from the school, there's a drastic change in the families that we are bringing about in these girl children.
That's amazing to know, because when you start giving them a safe environment, it becomes a great starting point. People talk about. Wanted to ask you. People talk about leadership skills, right? As making a better leader through education. How do you have seen this education system, especially in shaping, the future leaders? How is that helping that part of it?
Though we are giving them the cultural and traditional educations, it's not that we are not giving them the career-oriented courses. Like any other child, we are giving them technical courses also, like training them in the modern facilities of the modern courses of Python or C++ or whatever the software industry needs. Some children get trained into the company secretaries and the chartered accountant training, they take it. Some are trained into the IAS coaching. So it depends on the child which they want to take. And in our alumni, the children who have gone from our campus, there are more than 70 or 75 students who have passed out of which we can proudly say about more than 50% have settled down in the villages, and they are teaching children around them the Sanatana Dharma, the slokas, and what they have learned. But 10% of them are working in software industries in the cities of Bangalore or Hyderabad or other places. And the other 5-10% are settling down as homemakers. So in this today's world of running around for career, getting good homemakers or good advisors is also needed, is what we look into it. And what more a bigger example can I say that one of the student in Anantapur, after she's finished from us, she has taught more than 40, 50 elderly ladies the Soundalahari and brought them to Kanchipuram and did a paraminam in front of the Acharya as a Samarpanam.
Amazing.
So we are sending out teachers to and leaders to all different parts. If you see in the next 10 years, when these children go out and they start teaching around them, at least we are confident now that our dharma will be protected to an extent.
Amazing. So I have a question for you. You said you're offering these Pathashalas for free. So how do you ensure first thing quality and sustaining this whole education system, which is around a wonderful vision? So like you need to recruit teachers, means I'm assuming you'll be paying them, of course. And then you said you need to maintain a lot of healthy environment. So how do you manage this?
Financially, yes, that's a good one. Like financially, when we are giving everything free of cost, we depend on individual scholarship, sponsorships.
I see.
And we look forward for CSRs wherever possible. Because education system, we do get CSRs. We look out for individual sponsorships from people within India and from abroad.
Okay.
Acharya believes that if everyone can sponsor one child, it is not a big burden. Then everyone who are not educated or below uh, poverty line also can be educated, and we can develop our society. So in this manner, we approach people to sponsor. The cost is coming to around 1.25 to 1 lakh to 1.25 lakh per annum per child. So we generally request people to sponsor for one child. If that is not possible, at least $1 a day, we should keep it aside for dharma. Like it is said even in our traditions in the Vedic studies, that whatever you earn, one part of it is to be given to dharma, one is for self-use, one is for devotion. It is put in our dharma. In olden traditions, it used to be said. So this way we are asking at least $1 of your salary, saying it is not yours, and keep it aside. Give that as a donation for the students. So when 4 such people give it, we'll be getting one sponsorship for one child. Today we are educating almost 2,500 students under this scheme, which is directly done under me. And
How many students is it?
2,500 students are benefiting today.
Wow, amazing.
Our expenditure is about 1.5 crores a month.
Wow.
which is run by the Sri Pathashalas Charitable Trust
Okay.
under the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. And people in the US can get benefited if they're rooted through the Kanchi Kamakoti Seva Foundation, which gives a tax benefit within the US.
The KanchiKamakoti Seva Foundation is in US,
Yes.
organization. Got it.
Yes, sir. It's a
So
non-profit
I'm going to
organization.
show on the screen, Lakshmi Garu, for the viewers. So there is a donate now QR code here. If you can, scan later on, also pause the program, scan the code, donate generously to this wonderful, wonderful program. And then you can follow Veda Pathashalas on social media as well. If you just scan this particular QR code, and here is the charitable trust address in Chennai, and then this is the US contact at kksf.org. It's a wonderful set of people here as well in US. So I want to ask you, so there is a WhatsApp community as well. You can join by scanning this QR code. So once again, here is the donate one. So kindly do that. So Lakshmi Garu, you are in US right now touring here. So tell me the purpose of this tour. Like I'm in Dallas. There are many people that are going to watch the show later as well. They're all wondering about how they can get benefited by this.
So how people can get benefited by this is I'm trying to reach out to more number of people to answer their questions, their doubts on how it is really being spent, the money being spent. They can see the visuals, they can come and visit us in India, and I am there to give the transparency of how we are handling the children and what all we are teaching them. And I'm presently going to address a meeting tomorrow, a gathering in Dallas. And then on 22nd, I'm addressing a gathering in Seattle. 24th, I'm trying to address a gathering in Fremont area. And 31st, I'm addressing a gathering in New Jersey. And first, possibly, I'll be addressing a gathering in Washington, D.C. The purpose is mainly to spread the works that the KanchiKamakoti Peetham is doing through the education system, how many people are benefiting, and what is our Acharya's dream? Why is he struggling so much? Because only if you protect our culture and traditions and the skills, then we can protect our society on a whole. It's not that protecting one community, he's trying to protect the Nadaswaram. Because Nadaswaram community, if you have heard about it, they were the midwives in the olden days. There we are teaching the children the Nadaswaram instrument along with the Mulika Vaidyam and making them good nurses and therapists, which is really needed also today. So we're trying to do the skill development and protect every community for that matter, because all communities are equally respected, and only if all communities are there, the society will be healthy. With a single community, no society will be healthy.
So if I have kids here in US, how can they get this integrated education? Is it possible for US students to do that?
We have a good proposal for the students in the US. They can come for cultural camps and we can provide them accommodation, stay, logistics, and everything, and teach them in summer camps of 1 week or 10 days, depending on the interest they have. Secondly, there are a number of children in the US who are learning music and instruments, but they're not able to write their exams because of the distance. We can be the facilitators to register them in the different courses, and we can facilitate them teaching lessons online, or they can learn through their gurus, and they can come to our center to complete their exams and their courses. So this is one thing we can offer from our side. Secondly, the Kanchi University, the Sri Chandrasekhar and the Saraswathi Vishwa Mahavidyalaya is coming up with online Sanskritam courses, online temple structure courses, and online Shilpa Sastra courses, which in due course people anywhere can access and they can join for a low fee of say about $500 will be the course fee for a year certificate courses. So these courses can also be benefited by NRIs. And one more thing to add to it is we have started a program known as Nagareshu Kanchi. which the details can be got from the contact kksf.com. The
Dot
Nagaresha Kanchi,
KKS.org, right?
yes, sir.
KKS.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Nagaresha Kanchi, what the program is, we are inviting people from here, the youth or the families, to come down to India, and we take them on a tour starting from Chennai to Tirupati, Kanchipuram, Tirutani, and the places, and a recreation place to Mahabalipuram. So, in this course of time, this 1 week or 8 days that they travel along with us, they see the culture in the ground root level. The children from here will have a different experience. They'll have a hands on experience, and they'll have a chance of interacting with the children in local from the Indian community.
Okay.
And this is going to be done on a very minimal cost of $1,200 for the 8 days, where the food and accommodation, the travel and everything will be taken care of.
It's very nice to know. Very nice to know. So all of these programs are available. Go to kksf.org. People can read through it. So that is excellent. So thank you again for being the driving force behind this. I want to ask you personally, for you, what is the driver? What is your inspiration for this? For taking this much effort to dedicate for a cause like this?
The main inspiration is Acharya himself, because when you see him, out of the 24 hours, he's worried for 23 hours only on the next generation, how to preserve the next generation.
Yeah.
Secondly, the motivation is God has been very kind enough to me to have given me all that I needed from a young age. I never had any inhibitions or any needs because my father was working in Africa and I had my education in Africa. So I've seen the whole world from 72 onwards.
Mhm.
So now it's our turn to give back something to the society. And when I see the child who has joined in the schools that we are running, and by the time that they get married and they're settling down, today when I go to different places, they come and say, "Ma'am, we are like this because of you. What more can I ask for?" No
Right.
money can buy me anything like that. The satisfaction that the individual has settled down, which may not have been possible if not for the Acharya. Because imagine children coming from villages with family backgrounds of the financial problems that the mother and father are going through, with a minimum salary of or a maximum salary of 5,000 a month. What education can the parents give to the children? They would have got married without getting proper education.
Mhm.
But because of this Acharya's projects and my being able to do something for the society, I'm proud to say that the children are all well settled. And when we see them, I don't think anything else is needed for us. That
So
small smile on the
for
face.
other people watching this program, I know such big initiatives won't be working without volunteers, helping you as a visionary leader. I'm sure there are many others that are working tirelessly as well. So if somebody wants to volunteer, how can they do it? Can somebody here in US volunteer for your organization? Is that a possibility?
We need volunteers even in the US. They can volunteer. The volunteering is in different angles.
Mhm.
One, you can volunteer to spread the word.
Mhm.
Second, you can volunteer to teach and connect with the students.
Okay.
Third, you can come and spend time with the children. And and not but the and not last but the least, the thought process of what the acharya is thinking. If we can think in that line and spend some time, not the money. If you can spend your time for the cause, it will be
Mhm.
great in whichever way possible.
That I think a lot of people, some are rich in money, some are rich in time, and somewhere in the between. People are somewhere in between. So whatever way you can, kindly contribute to this wonderful, wonderful platform. And then tomorrow in Plano, we are here in meeting Lakshmi Garu in person, so we can get together and have questions answered and things like that. So kindly reach out.
Uh,
Yeah.
I just would like to add one thing, sir. Like people in India, we are able to do physically.
Yes.
So people here, if they can at least support us with financially or morally, give us the support,
Yeah.
that will be great.
Excellent. Yeah, I think all the in this world of social media, it's easy to spread things. It's easy to share information. So, for example, this particular conversation that I'm having with you can go to places. You can simply do hit share and send it to people, and they can listen to you directly. And you have spoken about the vision. You have spoken about your inspiration. You have spoken about the benefits of the integrated platform of education, how students are benefiting, how they're integrating themselves into the mainstream of life, becoming leaders, and yeah, and then how they're even coming back to the Pathashala and offering their own services back to the whole thing you mentioned here is worth sharing. I think it's important to in this day and age where people are just sharing anything they see, sharing such kind of things is the simplest thing you can do. So kindly spread the message about this wonderful, wonderful initiative. So one other thing also I wanted to let you know, through this B Plus, we have a family of positively inspired people all across the globe. So we have actually contributed to KKSF's foundation. I think we raised about 12 lakh rupees in the past, and then contributed towards Pathshala constructions as well. So that is one proud contribution from I call it B Plus family. So we have already participated and know the impact of what you're doing. And when we reached out to the community around B Plus, they were very generous in contributing towards, towards this integrated education as well in the past. So we will continue to do that as other family. And then you're going to Bay Area, right, for Silicon Andhra. So we're also motivated in ensuring our next generation get our language, our culture, our values and tradition in a very solid way. I'm sure you're going to be meeting people there from Silicon Andhra as well, which has a similar mindset in propagating our culture through next generations. So again, thank you for spending your valuable time this afternoon or this evening, or in India, if somebody is watching later on, whatever time you're in. So thank you for spending that time and explaining to us about the Sampradaya, Pathshalas, and the integrated education system. Any final words? We can conclude the conversation.
Final words is I would like to invite all of you to please come and visit, because whatever I talk, seeing is believing.
Yes.
So please come visit the centers either in Tirupati, Hyderabad, Vijayawada, Nashik, or Pune. Please visit any of the centers and visit our acharyas in your next trip. I would take his blessings and contribute generously, is all that I can say. Jai Jai Shankara, Har Har Shankara.
Jai Jai Shankara, Har Har Shankara. Thank you so much again. So with this, we'll conclude. Again, thank you for whoever is watching. Let me see if there are any questions. I didn't see any. I think people are simply watching and appreciating the information. That's great. But later on also, anybody you can comment on the YouTube channel. Those questions we'll be watching and relaying them to Lakshmi Garu. And then, like I said, kindly spread the word about this wonderful mission. Thank you. Dhanyawadalu.
Thank you, sir.